Now, to premise this video, you cannot lose a game of tic-tac-toe. If you play optimally, you cannot lose a game of tic-tac-toe. That does not mean, of course, that I play optimally every single time, because I'm a human. And so, in the end, a computer might be able to beat me. Wait, I'm stupid. See, this is why. I have to relearn, because I have obliterated this bot in the past. I just need to relearn the combo. Once I do, it'll all flow all real natural like. And if the bot ever makes a mistake, I will be able to capitalize on it. Okay, I'm starting to remember now. Oops, that was an accident. Here's some rules. If you go first, always play, stupid AI, always play for the center and then a corner. If you go second, anytime you play adjacent to wherever the last time your opponent played was. So here, boom, 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 boom. And you can never lose. Now, a robot should also be able to never lose, but it does. And that means the robot was specifically programmed to be able to lose. Because there's no way to lose a game of tic-tac-toe. And robots like this one, you'll eventually be able to predict every single movement. And you'll see that soon. Oh yeah, and one more piece of advice. This is a way to make it a cats game. Draw the Pinor. And you win. You can't, that grants you the cats game. I knew it. The robot plays so weakly on that one, I don't know why. Watch this. I play middle. Here. It goes bottom middle. Watch this. I play right here. It goes top left. Oh, middle left. Okay. I play bottom right. I play here. Watch this. Top right. Bottom right. Top left. If it plays bottom middle, I win. Or it'll play top middle. There we go. Watch this. Top middle. Oh wait, I'm stupid. Of course. Top middle. Okay, he let me win. Top middle. This robot is really dumb. Is there like a... What the frick? What? No! Okay. That set us back like 60. I just gotta speed run through some. Okay, watch this. Bottom left. Bottom right. Ooh, loser. I'm way overthinking these. It's really simple to code a robot that wins all the time. I imagine it's more complicated to code a robot that wins. I just had flashbacks to something. I don't know. This robot is so dumb. I can pre-move. It's incredible how bad they have to make these robots so that you don't lose. Wait, I had 3 in a row there. At least the robot is quick and efficient with it. If it took time to decide its move like freaking chess bots do, that would be annoying. Chessbot got nothing going on up there. Or sorry, not chessbot. Tic-tac-toe bot. It's good though, because I also got nothing going on up there, so if... Okay, so... Every time he gets it, it's because he doesn't block one of mine, which means I could have won. But I'm so used to... So if this robot played perfectly, I would play perfectly. Watch carefully next time. Anytime I lose, look for where I could have won. You know, what's his name? Luke? What's his freaking name? The guy who invented 100 Days. He invented like an entire YouTube meta, like an entire generation of YouTube that is still pretty kind of ongoing. Bro, there are entire channels dedicated to Minecraft 100 Days of like a bunch of different, just a random mod. So quite literally, randomly, nobody, I don't know if there had been any previous 100 days. There might have been like 1 or 2, but he had an idea that nobody had apparently had before that became the YouTube meta. You could do 100 days on literally anything if you wanted to. So what is the next thing that's like that gonna be? Because there has to be something, because that's how trends work. what is it? Oops. Anyway, what is it? It's almost like trying to imagine a new color, like that Olo schnurd. Nobody cares about Olo, by the way. Oh, I don't even know, like, I'm pretty sure people, I don't actually know anything about that story, but nobody cares about Olo. Just call it Hatsune Blue. That's Hatsune Miku, Perry the Platypus. That's that color. Okay? Don't call it freaking Olo. We don't have to name every single color in the observable universe. If we did that, then we would be wasting all our time, because there's like an infinite number of colors. Also, why are we surprised when we invent a new color? Also, we didn't invent the new color. We invented the machine that showed us the color, but we did not invent the color. That color existed. Unless it literally didn't, and it literally isn't a color. Because if it didn't exist before we created it, then it didn't exist. It doesn't exist anymore after we created it. But if it did exist previously, then it always existed. So either way, we didn't invent the color. That's what I did wrong, okay. Also, Perry the Platypus and Hatsune Miku are kind of the same color. We might not be getting sound here, one sec. Oh, we aren't getting sound. Let me fix that for you. Stupid AI! This is a case where AI is literally stupid. And not, like, actually stupid. That's something I could talk about for... I went to a museum with my family. And there was a, like, artificial intelligence exhibit. And I went on a good long rant about AI. That was maybe a third of the words I actually have to say on that. Because AI is taking the one thing... Okay, I think Miyazaki said something similar to this. So I'll say it again. Art is a human condition, and AI does not have the human condition. Like, AI isn't a human, it's not a person. So what would make you think that the things it creates are actually art? Because again, art is a human condition. So what it's creating isn't art, it's just images. The only argument I've ever heard for AI that I actually kind of agree with is that if you're not an artist, but you want to get a picture of something, like the image from in your head, you can tell the AI to make it. But in the end, as an artist, just learn how to make it. It is endlessly more satisfying to learn how to draw than it is to type into the AI, I don't know, dark emo shark with, I don't know. You could type anything in there. Orc with big biceps curling an iron pan in half. Iron pan? What the frick is that? Curling a frying pan in half. And it pops out that thing in like 2 seconds. And then you go, oh wowee, I made this. No, you didn't. Nobody made that. Nobody made that. It's simple. Nobody made that. Because the AI isn't a person. So it isn't anything. There was something there's this YouTuber I watch, Picat. I don't know if that's how you spell their or say their name. Pikat. Great YouTuber, great feller. But they had a video on AI, and they said something that I wholeheartedly agree with. That the moment you find out that, like, if you look at a piece of art and go, oh, that's cool, and then somebody says, oh, that's AI, it instantly makes me, at least, uninterested in the art. Because there's like no reasoning behind it. There's no human emotion behind it. There's no reason for me to question anything about it other than the fact that it's AI or not. So I think AI is disingenuous to the creators. I think AI has its uses. Genuinely, it has its uses in like science and stuff. Like in the same thing where it had AI art and it had like I don't even know what it was. It was actually pretty cool where this AI just progressively learned how to beat a video game. Not like a video game that they made. It was I don't know what it was. But it was pretty cool. But then there was also a part in that same exhibit that I actually think should be the use of AI, which was searching for cancer, helping speed up the process of searching for cancer cells. I don't know if the rates of failure are higher, or like the chances of failure, or I don't know what the scientific term would be. The risk, I guess. I don't know if the risk is higher having AI spot a cancer cell rather than a person, I guess. I don't even know if people were the ones that were doing it before. That is something that's incredibly useful for saving people's lives and doing menial stuff that you need done quickly, because if you don't get it quickly enough, it could literally mean death, I think, for some people. So that's something it's incredibly useful for, and I think it should continue to be used for, is science. I don't feel as if scientists really have a problem with AI. So what I'm saying is generative AI, boo, L. But any AI that is actually helpful and structural and like helps our society, which is not generative AI, it doesn't help anything in our society. Except for the people who want to make art but don't know how. And I guarantee you, it will not be those people who are using it. Because I'm pretty sure there was something recently where it was like Disney saying that they would be using AI to assist with making their movies. And I literally had called that when I went to the museum. I said, I almost guarantee you that it will not be individuals using it. It will be corporations. And the corporations will just be using it to make profit faster. And I knew Disney, that was one of the first things I listed, because Disney is all about the money and they're going downhill. They are not going to get enough money. They're being replaced by indie animations. They're being replaced by YouTube. Every single streaming service is being replaced by YouTube. The Amazing Digital Circus is on Netflix, and I bet you maybe 1,000 people found out about the Amazing Digital Circus on Netflix. Maybe a lot more than that, maybe like 10,000, maybe even like 50,000 people found out about the Amazing Digital Circus from Netflix. But most people found out about it when it blew up on YouTube. And that's an amazing series. I love that series. There's a recent video that the Film Theory put out where it was their stance on AI, generative AI in content. And I don't use AI in my stuff because I'm too lazy to use AI, funnily enough. Normally AI is for lazy people, but I'm too lazy to use AI. It doesn't change what I'm doing. Oh, cool. But in that video, they did say that they said, this is what we're putting on it, like this is what we're doing with AI, and this is what you guys should do with AI. I invite you to do the same, is I think the exact phrasing they used. And I will, because that was already what I was doing before, is basically we're not going to use AI. The only way we're going to have ever AI in our videos if the thing we're making theory on is made with AI, which is kind of funny. I could talk even more about AI, but it would end up probably being pretty nonsensical ranting because I wasn't planning on talking about it. I don't plan many things. Me and my brother were playing a Roblox game. You play Roblox? Wait, I could have won there anyway. You play Roblox? Yeah, I play Roblox. It's like not crazy. Also, what the freak did I just do? But we were playing this, I think it's a new game called something Tower Defense, Stud Tower Defense, I think. It's a good game. It's a good tower defense. For Roblox, in Roblox terms, probably one of the better ones. Up there with maybe Critical Strike Tower Defense. That one's pretty good too. But the thing I like about it, and I hope they expand on this more in the future, it's that every 5 rounds, you get a card. And that card can be there's, I believe there is time freeze, a trap. So time freeze, you know, it freezes time. That one's pretty obvious. A trap, you place it down and it deals 80 damage to whatever walks over it until it deals a total of 80 damage and then it disappears. There's Drummer, who is basically like Village from Bloons TD6. Well, not really. It only buffs attack speed, but it's $50. You place it down and you can upgrade it once and it buffs your attack speed. And I could have won there again. And the rumbling card. Anime knowers will get that reference. I want them to expand on it more because I believe that is all the cards. When you're just starting off, you only have 3 cards. You have a gunner, an archer, and a grappler, and grapplers are by far the most goated tower in the first few because they can literally permastall, well, near permastall pretty much anything. Fast things they struggle a bit with, but they can almost permastall anything in the game, which is crazy. So that's a fun game. If I want to, if I would recommend any new game on Roblox currently, it would be Stud Tower Defense, I think it's called. If I were to recommend any game on Roblox, it would probably be first Regretivator, because that one's easy to get into. Then Pressure, because that one's also pretty easy to get into. It is horror though, so some people might not like it. Also, I think your first time playing Regretivator for like 3 hours is going to be your best time playing Regretivator, because it's all new. But by the point, I haven't even played Regretivator for a while, just because you have to play a lot to get the new content, because every update only adds like 2 or 3 floors. That's a good amount seeing its weekly updates. But once you found all the floors once, personally, I have found that I played the game enough and I didn't really want to replay it just so that I could get the new stuff. There is tickets, but those were added into a late enough update where I didn't really want to get the because the way tickets work is you don't just spend money. I feel like it would have worked if you just spent money on them, like not Robux, but the in-game money, like coins. If you just spent coins on them, that would be fine. But no, instead you have to and this is the stupidest system I've ever seen. Instead, you have to spend like $200 at a machine on one of the floors, and then it starts processing, and then you have to get back to that floor later after like 38 minutes to 2 hours or something like that, and you have to pick it back up. So you have to play for like 2 hours or until you get the same floor 2 times, which with like 200 floors probably by now, I haven't actually checked, with like 179 floors by now, is gonna take you forever. Maybe you could not even, I have never gotten a ticket except for from my dailies. So if they made it more accessible to get tickets, I would play the game more, because the NPCs are great, very lovable, very hateable, like Infected. I don't know who likes Infected. If you like Infected, put it in the comments. I want to know who likes Infected. I know for a fact there's Folly lovers, because I'm one of them, but I don't know, there's probably Infected lovers, but I don't know how many. There are probably more people who like Folly than like Infected, and that's saying something, because she's evil. That's her whole deal. She's just evil. You ever just miss a win because the computer played stupid? You ever just miss 2 wins in a row because the computer keeps playing stupidly? Oh yeah, and then the last game I could recommend that I always, every time I open it up for like, I'm gonna do 1 attempt, I always spend like an hour and a half, is Stars Align. It's a 3D platforming game. I don't play many platforming games in general, and especially not of the 3D variety. But every time I get hooked trying to get my high scores. And I joined the funny story, I joined the community to see if I was fast, because I had found the theoretical for like, I theorize, I craft my places like that. I'll go, what do you call it, paths, routes. I path my routes, my speedrun routes that I think will work, and I do them as efficiently as possible, and I get really fast times. But then I went on the Discord and I said my optimal time and somebody was like, dude, that's literally so easy to get, because at the time there was a glitch where the bombs didn't respawn correctly, so if you collected them and then restarted, you could legit just skip entire sections. Like, it was incredible. It let me, I don't think for me that would be beatable, but there are people who will like scan the map geometry and be like, I can just barely manage to stand on these 3 pixels that are completely obscured and no normal player would ever see ever. So yeah, that's why I left, and I'm just gonna sit here in my ignorance and I'm gonna headcanon that this is the high score. You know what? I'll just say this is my high score, because then it can't be wrong. So yeah, that one's a joy to play. They got an update randomly. I tried to do a video on it, but the audio is just completely messed up. Maybe I'll do a stream on it eventually. Beating Mount Awesome, probably. Oops. Roblox has some gems on there. A couple days ago I was playing through, I still haven't beat it because it's way too freaking hard for me. I'll beat it eventually, probably. I was playing through this game called Pizza Game. Not work at a pizza place. Pizza Game. I'm pretty sure the developer made a video on it. I'm pretty sure I watched that, and seems like a nice guy. Hopefully they're not, they haven't done anything crazy since the last time I heard of them. But basically, it's, you know Ultra Kill? I don't know I asked you that, because you won't respond. Anyway, yeah, it's like Ultra Kill. It's not exactly like Ultra Kill, obviously, because Ultra Kill is like a masterpiece, I think. I haven't played it, but that's what I hear. It's like a masterpiece, a modern work of art. Like Van Gogh came back to life to make that crap. But it's a first person. Wait, I just said first person and then I went and tried to say FPS. It's a first person FPS. It's like roguelike style. So every time you die, you restart, and then there's like upgrades that you can get from either beating bosses or giving. Okay, so there's this currency called Soul, which is like, it's this weird little blue substance. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's sauce. It has a chance of dropping from every enemy you kill, and the higher your combo streak, the higher the chance it is for dropping them. But it acts as both a currency and your life. So if you lose, so you have 5 HP, and if you lose all 5 HP, but you have a soul, you go back to 5 HP, but it consumes the soul. But at the end of every world, I could have won there. There's this guy, I forget what his name is. I don't know. I don't remember what his name is. But you can either donate 0%, 50%, or 100% of your souls. If you do not feed him, I don't remember what negative happens because I rarely ever don't feed him. But something bad happens, like you lose HP. I think it's -1 HP. But if you give him soul, if you give him at least 1, he won't starve. Well, anything above 1 will just give you better upgrades, because he will then toss out, or not toss, yeah, he'll give you an upgrade. He'll spin a wheel and give you an upgrade. So it's like a roguelike FPS, very stylized experience with some real deep it's like surprisingly complex. Especially for a Roblox game, this is a must play. Especially for y'all Ultra Kill enjoyers. I haven't played Ultra Kill, so I don't know how it stands up, but it feels good to me. It is kind of annoying, and I'm sure they'll solve it in, like, I'm sure they'll have an upgrade that starts you off with some certain things, but they don't start you off with a double jump or a slide, but you can get them as upgrades, which I find kind of strange, because if you have a movement mechanic that you worked spent a lot of time on, wouldn't you want it to be almost front and center? And wouldn't you want to be able to reward players for using them? It's always a struggle as a game developer to reward the players who are less good, especially in like really difficult games like Elden Ring or Calamity. Like if I'm playing Calamity, the whole gimmick is well, one of the gimmicks is adrenaline. Like when you're on a harder difficulty, there's something called adrenaline, where if you don't get hit during a boss fight, for like, I don't remember how long it was, I think 45 seconds off the bat, like with no buffs, if you don't get hit for like 45 seconds, or maybe it's 30, you get increased damage, and I think take less damage too. So all around, it's really crazy, like doubles your damage output or something crazy like that. And so it's rewarding players who are already good at the game. And I think so too is Pizza Game, because you can only get good at some of the mechanics if you get far enough into the game to get the upgrades. I will realize that at first I thought that first boss was impossible. I was like, dude, how do I consistently dodge any of this guy's attacks? And now that I've learned them, it's fairly consistent. I can do it every other time, at least if I have like 1 or 2 souls. Once I master that fight fully, I'll be able to do it pretty consistently, I'm certain. The movement feels fine. It's like nothing crazy, it's not complicated, but it doesn't feel bad. Like, it doesn't feel clunky. The aesthetics are really there. I don't know why I did that. The aesthetics are, it's cooking. The lore is kind of, I haven't read all of the lore. Every item that you pick up, like every gun and every enemy, has lore. Man, what am I talking about? I'm playing tic-tac-toe and just yapping. But another game I played recently and just now realized how actually good it was is Hades, the video game. I haven't played it for like months, and I re-got it, and I played like a couple rounds, a couple matches, like 3 or 4 or something. Dude, there's freaking gauntlets in Hades. There's a gun in Hades. You whip out your Glock, and you start shooting people in Hades, the video game. One of its abilities is reload. I'm more of a shield. I could have won there. Anyway, I'm more of a shield or a gauntlets guy. The spear is also pretty good damage, especially for bosses. It had far reach, but when I got gauntlets, I got, I think, who is it? Not Artemis, Athena, I think. And she gives you like blocking or wait, deflect. And when you attack, like when you hit a projectile, it deflects, like in Soul Knight. If you had the freaking deflect, that less people have played Soul Knight than Hades. I don't know why I'm trying to, but basically I got a really good run because the gauntlets attack really quickly, like insanely quickly. And so every time I hit with it, they do admittedly have a small hitbox, so it wasn't crazy. It wasn't nothing. I could have won there, by the way. It wasn't nothing crazy. It wasn't completely game breaking, especially because melee attacks could still easily hit me, but it did make it so that I could punch back any projectile. Hades is a fun game. I also want to get Binding of Isaac. I probably shouldn't, because it'll probably... I'm not really 100%er, I realized. Everybody's always going for the 100% badges. If I do 100% badges, it's probably for a story game. Like, I think the only game I've actually 100%ed was Awaria. So... y'all know Awaria? The game about the ghost girls? Oops, that was a misclick. I think they can win here now. Yep. See, okay. This is the same one again that I pointed out on last time. Anyway. Gotta stop doing that, man. Oh, I like roguelikes. I end up only playing them like once, and then I'm not playing them again for weeks and or months. But I like roguelikes. You know what I don't like? Hypixel Skyblock. I quit that crap. You know why? Because low-key, for 7 days of my life, I set timers for freaking farming competitions. I got the game, and by like 2 weeks, and 2 weeks after, I had farmed like millions of melons and like 400,000 wheat. So I played 2 weeks, spent way too much time. I think you can win here. Never mind. Like the same amount of time as I did on. Actually, no, that's not true. The first week I had Stardew Valley, I was playing that crap like I actually lived in the game, bro. Literally, like a full-time job worth. The first week I got Stardew Valley. That's just to say how good of a game Stardew Valley is and why it's one of my top G's. I need to get back on Stardew Valley, bro. I keep thinking I'm taking the middle. Do not put me in any game that involves farming, nor fishing. If you put me in any game with farming or fishing, I will come out a farmer or a fisher. Respectively. What the frick? Especially if it's a good game. Like Stardew Valley or web fishing. Men turn away at my gaze. Fish fear me. Women fear me. Fish fear me. Men turn away, turn their eyes down at my gaze. No animal, no beast. I need to memorize that. My eyes are getting blurry from looking at tic-tac-toe. I think I had a bit where I was gonna crash out while I played this. Also, I misplayed that immensely. Um, yeah, I think I had a bit where I was gonna crash out playing this because it was actually so. I keep thinking I'm the one who's taking the middle. Anyway, this simply isn't that bad enough to even do that as a bit. I'm not the kind of guy that crashes out. I also think I had a bit where I would pull up like a bunch of. There was this video I saw. That was a fun video in the early web fishing days. I'm sure web fishing is still around, but nowhere near as popular as, nowhere near as many videos as when it was in its craze. And web fishing deserved the praise. Don't worry, I love web fishing. There's this video that was like making the uncomfiest stream ever or something. That's a great video. That was an incredibly funny video, and they pulled up like heartbeat sound effects and put like a filter over the entire screen so that it was like dark, and then had a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare going like every 5 minutes. And it truly was an uncomfy stream. I can agree with that. I need to get back into web fishing. Maybe I'll make a web fishing game, or freaking what the frick? Maybe I'll make a web fishing video. I just need to get some friends in there, honestly. I think my favorite types of jokes are the jokes that don't make you crack up, but you look back and you think, that was a funny joke. That was a really funny joke. I also kind of like horror games. Like, I always thought I wasn't a horror fan, but then I realized I kind of was. Just not the like jump scary kind, the jump scary kind of horror. I think if you have to rely on jump scares to make your game scary, it's more okay. Let me clarify. I like horror that's like horrific and like gets you thinking and stuff. Like, I like psychological, the more psychological side of horror. I'd go as far as to say, like, I like Limbus Company. Gameplay is mid, because I'm not a gambler and I don't like doing things every day, which are two things that you have to be to play Limbus. But the story they're trying to tell, I'm basically in love with it, bro. 101 wins, baby. One might say I'm 5 times better than the computer. But yeah, I've been enjoying some horror lately. Psychological thriller, perhaps. You know what they say? A win for a win makes the human always win, because robots are stupid, apparently. If this were chess, if I were playing the best chess bot, I guarantee you, it would look more like 660 losses, 140 ties, or sorry, 140 140 ties and 20 wins from the computer. Wait, no, from me. Yeah. I'm so stupid I can't even figure out what I'm trying to say. I think it took me 2 days to fully learn how to play Minesweeper, and now I only ever lose to either misclicks or dumb mistakes, which is I think how every Minesweeper player loses, but hey, give me some credit here. This robot is getting dumber as I play it. That's not my move. That's not my move either. I tried to fix it and then I just misclicked again. What the frick? Okay. I was trying to think of a conversation topic, but I apparently can't even play the game when I'm trying to think. I keep thinking I'm taking the center. Maybe that bit where I'm crashing out will finally work now. If I lose one more time, I will consider this a win for humanity. That's not my move. I keep thinking I'm the one taking the center. Okay. I think this is proving that I am better than AI. By approximately 5-fold. Better than this AI. If it were a perfectly optimal AI, we would have 1,000 ties, 0 wins. Or only losses by me the human because I make mistakes. You can already see that I've made 27 of them against this unoptimal AI. So just imagine how many I could make against an optimal AI. It would be the same amount, but the AI, I would also not have any points. I would probably still be 27 losses, but I would be at 0 wins, if we're being realistic. You know, solo leveling? I had a thought recently that might be a little controversial. Is that solo leveling is basically just like slightly more aura farmy, slightly less good JJK, in the manner that they're basically just fight scene after fight scene. Jujutsu Kaisen, okay, Solo leveling, the only thing it has going for it is its aura farming. Jujutsu Kaisen at least has some interesting abilities that aren't just I bring my dead thing back. Oh, I kill big dead thing. I kill big thing. I turn it into big dead thing that I bring back. That's basically what solo leveling is until a point where I'm pretty. I haven't finished solo. I think if I had a list of my favorite anime of all time, I don't think. I think I would have to do it 9x9 format because I don't have like a number one or number. I don't have. I feel like it would really be day by day. It would change every single freaking day. Yeah, it would. It really would. So my favorite anime of all time, in no particular order: One Piece, Vinland Saga, and these are all bangers, by the way. That everybody can tell you it's a banger. One Piece, Vinland Saga, Mob Psycho 100, Hunter x Hunter, and probably Apothecary Diaries. Oh, and Bocchi the Rock. So there's my top 6 in no particular order because I don't. If I had an order, it would. I don't think I can say. Like, personally, I think I like Vinland Saga more than One Piece, but it's probably just recency bias. I think it'll always be recency bias. Bocchi the Rock is probably top 3, and I don't think that's actually recency. That was my fault, by the way. I don't think that's recency bias talking. I think it's just one of the best shows. So One Piece is top 3. Why I'm trying to give them even in top 3 place, but I think all of them deserve top 3. Hunter x Hunter is top 3 material. One Piece is top 3 material. Vinland Saga is top 3 material. They're all so peak that I simply can't say any single one of them is a top 3. Except for One Piece. That one's definitely top 3. So I guess I can say that One Piece is top 3. And since I can only say it's 100% top 3 of all of those, it's probably top 1 if we're speaking fully candidly and truthfully now. One Piece is probably the best anime of all time. And statistically speaking, doesn't it have like the most sales? So I think One Piece statistically is the best anime of all time. And I can agree that was my fault, and I can agree with that statement. But again, the best versus your favorite, and I've said this before, I don't know if it's been on this channel, but the best of something does not always mean it's your favorite. I love One Piece, but that doesn't mean it's my favorite anime of all time. What? Wait, huh? Owl House is coming back. This is gonna be a good year, bro. Owl House, Deltarune, Hollow Knight Silk Song. There was already Anna Dream Barbecue, which was probably one of my favorite games I've played, my favorite story games, behind like Undertale and Deltarune. So those are pretty much all the story games I played: Undertale, Deltarune, and actually, Milk Inside of a Bag of Milk, which is a banger. All right, 8 more games. 7, 6, 5. That was preemptive 5. 4. That was a preemptive 4 as well. 4. 3. 2. And the final game, baby. Wait, let me make sure this is the final game. I didn't do my math incorrectly. Yep, this is the final game. Let's go out with a bang. I'm not taking the center. Okay, great. Hooray! 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 I'm doing this as an excuse to be able to edit something that isn't yo-yo only and get it out by Saturday. Hooray! Hooray! No, but honestly, I think Tic-Tac-Toe is a fun game. If you learned anything from this video, it's that you gotta make the Pinor shape, and if you can't do that, or if your opponent has ever 2 ways to win, then you must have either at least one or have played really badly. And if there's one true thing that's the moral of this story, is that humans are better than AI. At least I am better than this one. That's a pretty small sample size. So anyway, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed, which I'm sure you didn't, it was literally me just playing Tic-Tac-Toe over and over and over again. But if you watch this all the way through, congratulations on making it through the end. When I close my eyes right now, I can see like an amalgamation of a bunch of tic-tac-toe games. Like, you know, when you stare at a light and there's that blank spot in your vision, I can see that, but for tic-tac-toe right now. So I think that deserves either a like or a subscribe. Every like on this video, and I'm not making this a short because I know it'll get way too many likes. Every like on this video, I'll play a game of chess. And every subscriber I get from this video, I'll play 2 extra games of chess. I'm not gonna say 5 because that would be unhinged. 5 games of chess is already a long time. I'll do Blitz probably. Anyway, I'll see you next time. I'll see you next week, that is. I don't know what I'll be uploading. We'll see you next time. This has been Zele. I hope you enjoyed. Zele out.